be unkind, it'll tear the soul and rip the mind. That's what everybody says. I have been very fortunate, I guess, 'cause my heart's so high, love still fills me when you smile at me, when I look at you. This fire, desire, inside and beside me too, inspires and lifts me higher. This fire, this desire, inside and beside me is you. It's a record it's about borders in my life and checkpoints in my life. Yeah, that's good. It's important that we've got, for me, that we're in the room together, we've got each other's eye line, and there's a certain amount of tension, it's not over rehearsed, we don't want to make, slick isn't what I'm after, slick is not what we're after. There should be a little frisson of danger or tension in it, which I quite like, when the song's fresh and it's still kind of finding itself. Sometimes you can find it in a situation like this. One finger solo.
You think it's going to be right? So you don't worry about it until later on. Just leave out the whole of the intro just to.
I don't know. Those bits generally need to. Maybe are we playing it too slow?
Maybe we should not this tempo. It's just need a bit more drama.
The process of recording H.O.L.L.A.N.D and Roughnecks and Roustabouts, my last one that was recorded here, was to get the band in here in this space. There's a bit of shielding of amplifier so that it doesn't spill everywhere, but it was to capture the drums where they were. That's where Dean was, and we'd set up around here, and we'd get the feel, get the core of the track down, and then look at it and see what it needed. Does it need any overdubs? There's a couple of tracks on this album that are done completely, that we were intending to redo the vocal because I'm in the room with all the noise and doing it, but we kept it because of the energy. A track called Wind Whispers is a case in point. There's no one at home. While am I walking up there on my own? Sunlight glints through the butter knife clouds. Salt squalls, bulrushes, sage, purple hills. It's misty, but it's not raining yet. That bizzle, a drizzle that once was a threat is now a promise. That started off as a very folky, very light, a lot slower track that Ches wrote the music. I got a poem that I'd written. But when we were together with the band, we went, why don't we try it? Let's just play the fuck out of it. Let's just play it hard and swung heavy, and it seemed to work, In the end. That's me and my mum on the cover. That's me probably at about 7, I think. And our first car, a Cortina Mark 1. Lancaster House, which is a high-rise block behind us, where I used to have a paper round, and a few mates lived there. Maisonettes behind it, and Lion Farm Estate. The car was actually blue, but Peter Miles, who's a friend of the band, I sent it. I said, "Have you got any ideas? What do you think?" And he came back with the yellow, and I thought, "Oh, that's great. That's really striking. That's made it all the more vivid, really." I remember seeing this graffiti around the estate that I grew up around, Whiteheath and the Lion Farm estate where I'm from in the Black Country near Oldbury, and you used to see, you know, Jackie loves Tom or whatever, IDST, which I was curious about that. So if destroyed, still true. So even if the graffiti's gone, the love still lasts, you know. And that, I was fascinated by that. I've seen people with tattoos, IDST, and all that kind of stuff. And H.O.L.L.A.N.D was written, and I thought, what's that? I kept seeing that, and I asked a friend of mine, what's that mean, Holland? And she went, "Don, you know, that means hope our love lasts and never dies." And she kind of did it. She whispered it to me, you know, "Hope our love lasts and never dies," because it's like you don't say the word love on the estate. You know, it's kind of one of those, you know. And that fascinated me. But I've since found out that servicemen used to write it on letters when their letters were censored and all that, when they were overseas, send it back. It's an acronym: Hope our love lasts and never dies.
Absence makes the heart center up. How come I'm torn apart over Surabaya? I'm 35,000 feet of solid air, a day and a night until I will be there. She's more or less the best, I guess, my muse and inspiration, shelter from life's storms and blasts. She aids my constitution. Absence makes it
Heart, etc. kind of came to me on a very long haul flight back from Brisbane to the UK. 35,000 feet above Surabaya, Indonesia. It's just a song about missing home, really. It evokes the memory of that flight, but it's a happy song as well. It's happy, unusually for me.
She's more or less the best, I guess. Always makes me feel so much better. And if I might just be so bold, I like the way she fills her sweater.
One of the tracks, Paradise, is about going out to Bucharest in Romania, just right after the revolution when the Ceausescus were put to death there. And that was kind of a life-changing thing. A friend of mine said, "You fancy, let's go on an adventure. Have you heard about all the orphanages? There's tons of orphanages as a consequence to this monstrous rule that had been, that Romania was under for 25 years. And that was a pretty crazy time. The war in the Balkans was just kicking off as well. And one border crossing in particular was just absolutely terrifying. Really quite frightening. I really did think that we were going to die there. It was chaos.
A single track road, so dimly lit, with the smell of burning tires and diesel. Hands grabbing through the window, quarter light. They had my fags, my lighter, and the bastards ripped my shirt. A border guard in a mini moke noticed Red Cross insignia. He was screaming black bloody murder in the dark of the Balkan night. He waved his pistol at us, and so we followed him. But you're 2 days and 800 miles away, close enough to touch. You're 2 days and 800 miles away. Now that paradise is back on earth. Seems we've been driving for centuries We're crossing the country a day. Like Jonathan Harker headed for Transylvania. I heard the wolves through the air brake hiss, the children of the night.
This album that we just put out is a very collaborative album. It's the most collaborative album I've done, where the last two have been kind of mostly my songs with a lot of help from my boys and their input. But this was, let's have a look at what we've got.
One day, maybe tomorrow, everything could change. We all disappear in a flash of light.
Dean brought this to the table, and I had a look at the words. I didn't change much. It's Dean's song mostly.
We all go the way of the dinosaur.
It's kind of lyrically about me overthinking things a bit too much, really, prevaricating and not overthinking things and the moment's gone, and how fleeting we are, how things can disappear. The first line is someday, maybe tomorrow, everything could change, where we all disappear in a flash of light. You know, a rock could hit the planet like it did before, and we all go the way of the dinosaurs. Anything could kind of bang next instant, you know, couldn't it? And it's kind of, what's the point of thinking about that? It's, you know, and feeling kind of the feelings of loneliness, and you know, you can think yourselves into a corner, or into a cycle, or a spiral, probably more accurately.
Oh, my love, keep holding on, wait for me, 'cause I'm so lonely, yeah, I go crazy, I've gone twice around
I've been playing with Dean for 15 years, I would have thought by now. He's trying to move things forwards. He's a very musical drummer, got a great feel, an incredible swing. It's through Dean that Shez kind of is in the picture as well. What I imagine in my mind, he'll play and better. You know, he's got a great. He's a multi-instrumentalist. I like the sonic colours that he brings to it. Lawrence was a friend of my daughter's. He's got a lot of a massive amount of ability and a great sense of melody. I love his bass playing. It's melodic and powerful, and I'm very lucky to have him. And Andy. Loz and Andy were best mates. I met Andy. I think he's a great player, a great sense of harmony. So I'm very lucky to have them all. You know, they're great guys, and you know, it's that old thing of when you come together. It's a cliche, I guess, but it's greater than the sum of your parts. Sometimes when you're in the moment and it's playing and everything's locked in, it's just like you can take on the world, you know. And it's a great feeling, something that's never left me. You know, there's an honesty to it. I did want to make 3 records and address some things in my life through these 3 records, and I've managed to do it. Where I go after this one, I don't know. I've got an idea.